Okay, so next is the hyaline cartilage. So hyaline cartilage, they have many collagenous fiber which embedded in the rubbery matrix. Okay, so rubbery matrix, it makes the hyaline cartilage more flexible, which called chondroitin sulfate. Okay, which is the material can be found in the matrix. So chondroitin sulfate and the collagen are secreted by chondrocyte. So chondrocyte is the cell of the hyaline cartilage. So it also can be found in the lacuna, just like the compact bone just now. But for this lacuna, they are not interconnected by canaliculi. Okay, we also do not have the blood vessel to penetrate the cartilage. So oxygen and nutrients will reach the cell by diffusion, and the waste product will just diffuse away. So this is the lacuna structure which can be found in the matrix, and the chondrocyte. Okay, chondrocyte, which is the cell of the hyaline cartilage, can be found inside the lacuna. As we can see it here, the lacuna is not interconnected by the canaliculi. Okay, so the matrix is rubbery. So cartilage tissue is firm but flexible. Okay, flexible, and it resists strain and it is elastic. So it's firm and strong and steady. So when we put weight on it, it does not shake. Okay, so example, we can find hyaline cartilage in the trachea, in the bronchi. Okay, and each chondrocyte placed within the lacuna. So one lacuna, they might have 2 chondrocyte, 4 chondrocyte, or maximum 8 chondrocyte. So we can compare with the compact bone just now. For each lacuna, they have only 1 osteocyte. So not like here, they have 2, 4, or 8. So hyaline cartilage tissues are firm and flexible. The cells remain alive and nourished by nutrients and oxygen that diffuse through the matrix. So hyaline cartilage is different from the compact bone because they do not have nerve, lymph vessel, and blood vessels. So hyaline cartilage can be found in the trachea and bronchi, and it forms the embryonic skeleton in many bony vertebrates, and later the hyaline cartilage will be replaced by the bony tissues. So hyaline cartilage is elastic, compressible, that located in trachea and bronchi to keep them open. It covers the end of the bones, reduces friction between the joints during the movement, and it forms the skeleton of cartilaginous fish such as the sharks and the rays. So function is to provide flexible support. Alright, so this is the hyaline cartilage, where the matrix can be found, the lacuna, and chondrocyte can be found in lacuna. Okay, so this is the trachea, larynx. So we have the hyaline cartilage here. Okay, so it compares compact bone and also hyaline cartilage. So the last connective tissue is blood. So we have erythrocyte, red blood cell, leukocyte, white blood cell, and also platelet. So general function of the blood. So blood consists 55% of the plasma, where the plasma consists water, mineral salts, and variety of dissolved proteins. So function of plasma is to carry nutrients to the cell, or remove excretory product from the cell, or distribute hormones from the glands to the organs, or distribute the heat energy from warm part of the body to the cooler part. Okay, so distribution, it can be found in the blood circulatory system. So red blood cell is the most common blood cell. It's covered by thin and elastic cell surface so that it is easier to pass through the small blood capillary. Okay, so it's easier to squeeze through the blood capillary. So adaptation of the red blood cell, it is by concave shape, Biconcave shape means in the center it is thin than the edge, to increase the surface area to diffuse more oxygen and carbon dioxide. So why it is biconcave shape, which is thinner in the center? Because they do not have nucleus. They lose their nucleus during the maturation, and they have the pigment hemoglobin, the small size of the red blood cell, to provide greater total area of the plasma membrane to give in a given volume of the blood. So main function of red blood cell is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, leukocyte, white blood cell. White blood cell, they contain nucleus and organelle, but they do not have the pigment hemoglobin. So white blood cell usually irregular in shape. Ratio of red blood cell to white blood cell is about 1 to 700. So means we have more red blood cell compared to white blood cell. So we have two types of white blood cell, which is granulocyte and agranulocyte. So granulocyte means the cell has granules. Agranulocyte means the cell do not have granules. So function of the white blood cell is to fight infection, okay, which means they play an important role in our immune system. Okay, so for granulocyte, the cytoplasm has granules and the nucleus have loop. So they are mature in the bone marrow. So we have three types of granulocyte, which is basophil, neutrophil, and eosinophil. So each of it, the function, okay, most abundant, neutrophil is most abundant of the white blood cell. It's responsible for phagocytosis of microorganisms. So whenever the neutrophil meets the microorganism, they will just phagocyte it. Basophil S-shaped nucleus, and they have new granules. They secrete the histamine. Histamine is for the allergic response, which increase the inflammation. And to secrete the heparin. Heparin is to keep the balance between blood clotting and not clotting. Eosinophil have double lobe nucleus, which help to control the allergic response. Agranulocyte, the cytoplasm is clear without granules and the nucleus are not looped. So it's responsible to produce antibody. So we have two types of agranulocyte, which is monocyte and neutrophils, which is monocyte. Okay, monocyte and lymphocyte. Monocyte and lymphocyte. Yeah. So monocyte, same like the neutrophil, they phagocyte the cell, which engulf and digest the bacteria and debris from our own dead cell. Okay. So platelet. Platelet is fragment cell. It's about 2 to 3 micrometer in diameter. Platelet has no nucleus and they have the lifespan about 10 days only. So they originate as the pinch off the cytoplasmic fragments of the large cell in the bone marrow. So the main function of platelet is to clot the blood. Okay.